Hey everyone, it's Rabbi Paul's Kabbala Class number 6, and we are talking about the hierarchy of how we got from God Himself and all His glory to this physical world that we inhabit right now. And we want to go back up these levels so that we can reconnect with God because He's been missing in our life, He's been missing in our consciousness, and we want to connect to Him in a very real, authentic way. So we have to know all the levels between us and Him. And we spoke about the level most recently of the big circle, because after God decides He wants to do something and narrows down the possibilities and then reveals His free choice, the first thing that happens is a big circle. And a big circle means it's a circle because in a circle every line from the center to the circle is the same no matter where you go around it. So everything is the same. In the same way, the desire for a house is all the same. If I desire a house and then somebody asks me, do you want a kitchen in that house? I would say, of course. That was included in the desire. The circle includes all the desires for the house, and the first circle is actually has nothing to do with the house. It just has to do with the person and himself, how he feels in himself. He feels that something is missing. He wants a change, but he has no conception that he wants a house. This person eventually will develop that circle into another circle of wanting a home, and then after wanting a home, wanting a house, and then after wanting a house, wanting a kitchen, and wanting a kitchen, wanting a sink. So we have this analogy running about the person who wants a house, and I'm making this video right now just to make a certain caveat that we're not talking about the normal way that people make a house, because normally the house is already built and they come into it and they make a couple changes here and there, so maybe some new furniture, and then they move in and that's it. That's not the idea that we're talking about. That's not really the idea of having a house. The real idea of having a house is to have money as no option, and you can build a house wherever you want, however you want, with as much money as you want. And if that's the case, if you're building your house completely from scratch with no limitations on you, no zoning limitations on you whatsoever, you can do anything that you want, then you are going to design that house down to the very how many polka dots are on the shower curtains in the bathroom. You will care about the very last little thing that takes place in the building of that house, because it's all about you and it's all about your desire to feel good. It's all about your desire to fulfill this need to be independent and to be settled and to be structured. It's not really going to be you if everything isn't exactly right. And that's why our lives, even though it seems like they're not as important as the lives in the Bible of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Samuel, all these lives are more like the foundational structure of the house, which you need. You absolutely need it. And we draw our inspiration from those stories all the time. But what actually really shows God's true will of what He really wants is in the little details. In other words, us, the little people. What happens to us? What happens to us during the day when we said hi to someone and they didn't say hi back? Or we said hi to this person and they did say hi back? Or we petted their dog? Whatever we did during the day, we represent God's true will. We represent what God really wants. We are the shower curtains. We are the polka dots on the shower curtains. And we need to realize that and recognize that absolutely everything that happens to us during the day is for our good, because it's part of God's will. And if we do this, we will never be angry. We will never be upset. We will always be in a state of peace, not by escaping this world, but by embracing this world and realizing that everything is absolutely the way God wants it to be, down to every hair on your head and the way it curls, down to every blade of grass and the way it curls, and how many times it blows in the wind, whether that's thousands or millions of times. The exact number of times that it blows in the wind is what God wanted, and nothing will be the same without it. He wants the house to be a certain way, and nothing will be the same without it. Everything has to be exactly the way He wants it. It's a little bit OCD. God is a little OCD about it. If maybe that's where the disease of OCD comes from God, because He made sure that every little tiny thing is exactly the way He wanted it. But we, living in this world, can recognize that and never be upset about anything that happens because it's there for our good, for our growth. I hope you take this to heart and that you are never angry again. God bless.